Hey everyone, welcome to my first deck profile. It's on Super Baby Vegeta. I am going to be releasing more and more videos on this series, make my deck better. The idea is I'm really new to the whole TCG world. I never took anything to the locals before, let alone any further than that, maybe in the future. But this is going to be showing you what I've been taking to the locals in the past few months that I've been playing. The main thing is that when I started, I saw all these online videos and they really helped me get started. So I want to share that, especially with a lot of decks that haven't seen a lot of love in a long time. With this one, I know that I think they were already, I built this like 4 weeks ago and people were already talking about it. Kind of the whispers were then that it was coming back. Now that there's been a couple of erratas and bans, but again, more for another time. Let's just jump right into the Super Baby Vegeta deck. The leader, if you're not familiar, when it attacks a leader card on the front, it gets to draw a card, and its activate main is a once per turn. It can take one card from your life, and then you get to choose up to one card of your opponent's, one battle card, and give it minus 5k. So it's a great Self-Awakener. It's good against Vanilla Coup. It can pop things like Whis and Borgos and all that kind of stuff. Just great negging of the attack power, which is the theme of this baby chain that they built around this originally. I know people will just play this leader anywhere because it is pretty awesome by itself. Next, it awakens at 4 or less, and you get to untap 2, the classic. Kind of miss it a lot of the time for those extended plays. But on this side, it's a 15k like any other leader, and when it attacks any card on this side, you get to draw a card. It has an activate main where you get to choose one of your own battle cards and give it minus 15, and then you can choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards and give them minus 10. It's another great addition to kind of spreading out the theme of what all this is kind of bringing everyone down to 0 so that they place their card into the drop area and not KO it, which doesn't set off a lot of effects. And it also just feels good to clear their entire board, sometimes even on their turn with some of these new negates that we got. So the first card in the chain, and spoiler alert, I go full baby chain here. First one is, of course, Baby Vengeance Unleashed. It is a 1-drop that doesn't do much else than its Union Absorb, where it's very wordy, but the main idea is that if there's another battle card on the field, you can Union Absorb it. If you are a red machine mutant, you get to search through the deck for a card with the same character name as the card you absorbed. The idea is that you can absorb either this baby, another 1-drop baby, or a Vegeta GT to get the 4-drop out, which is the next step in the baby chain. So, some targets for that, just so we can kind of wrap our heads around it. We've got Vegeta, Daily Training Vegeta. It is a 2-drop, 10k. The main reason I have it in here is just it's the one of the lesser amount energy cost wise to get on the field, and it also has the auto of drawing a card when you play it. The baby chain in itself is going to draw you a lot of cards, and anything that help that, why not? You dig pretty deep in the baby chain. You get through your deck pretty fast. The matchup against Janemba, of course, being the fatal flaw there. Can't do much about that. Just some more Vegeta, a 3-drop. This one I have in there. I used to have the daily, or the Digging Deep Vegeta for more Self-Awaken, but honestly, you don't need it, especially in such an aggressive format right now. Green Brawly, for instance, and Vanilla Coup. Vanilla Coup, even. It was really good. I even had a good matchup against Storm with this deck, but the idea with this card, I pull him in because you can scare people. If you're trying to pull out another ape later in the game, you can pull this out because you can swing with the Vegeta GTs and then Union Absorb and you'll still be in active mode. But scaring them with this auto of KOing a card, and that if you do, then you get to just do 1 life card of damage. If you have a super combo, just throw it on there right before you go into the Union Absorb chain. It just scares them, kill their hand a little bit. So once you do the Union Absorb, the card that you want in your deck, the one card you want in your deck for this whole chain, is Saiyan Baby Strength. It's a double striker, 20k. When you play this card, if your leader card is a red machine mutant, draw 1 card, and then you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and you give it negative 20k. It's one of the biggest bumps. When it comes to playing against, say, Brawly BR, you want to wait until you can really use this effectively, because if they're on their 6-drop, for instance, you can pretty much kill the 6-drop by bringing it down to 0, and if they bring out the 8-drop, combined it with the ape and some extra cards in this deck, you can kill off the 8-drop too. Just hope that they don't have the secret, which, I mean, with the amount of negates in here, you might end up okay anyway. But the next step in the chain, this one is the card that I guess made the chain actually playable. Before getting into the ape in the chain is like 4 energy, but with this guy, skipping right down to his bottom effect, activate main for 1 red energy, you get to play a 6-drop from your hand on top of this card. That is the only one there is the ape. And the other thing about this card is that it lets you evolve right on top of the 4-drop and EX evolve for free. And when you do play it, you get to draw a card and give another battle card minus 20 or minus 5k. So already that's how you kill the 6-drop for Brawly. And by going from the 4-drop to minus 20, and then another minus 5 to kill it off then. And then there is the final one in the chain, the card that you play on top for 1 energy. This is the big boy of the baby chain, the thing that most people fear or wait and save the removal for because it has no barrier. And what he does is a 30k triple striker, and once per turn, when this card attacks or your opponent plays a battle card. If your leader card is a machine mutant, draw 1 card and choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 20k. This is amazing because you swing with it on your turn, minus 20k to something. If they don't have a barrier, you get to draw a card. You get to draw a card no matter what, because it's draw 1 card and then choose up to one. You don't have to KO things if you don't want to, or not KO them. But this also goes into effect on their turn, on their first card. So they basically have to waste at least 1 energy or maybe an overwhelm to pop this effect before they can go into whatever they were doing before. And it also, if you're playing against the Brawly BR and he does go to the 8-drop after that 6-drop, well, you can start working on him that way. Then I play 4 of the Dr. Miyu under Baby's control. It's the Searcher. When you play it, you get to search the top 3 for a machine mutant, which that is either the ape, the 5-drop, or the baby itself, the 1-drop. Then we also have 3 more Searcher cards. The Bula, Saiyan Daughter Bula. And for this one, basically, you search the top 7 for a GT Trunks, Bulma, or GT Vegeta. And you look for the Vegeta. You can also get the 5-drop promo out through this search, which is awesome, especially digging 7 deep for that 1 card that gets played for free in the chain. It's amazing. Then we have the Super Combo, the Handy Giru. And this one is when you're at 4 or less life, you get to draw a card and it gets the plus 10k. It does suck that it has the 0 there, but I kind of like it. I just feel better. I don't know all the cards by heart, but sometimes when that doesn't go off, it really sucks. The other thing is that you can search that off of that Dr. Miyu card, the Searcher, because it is a machine mutant. Next, I have just the E Supreme Kai, adding double strike and 10k to something. It's another card to just scare them a little bit. I like to provoke them into using their cards. With the baby chain, you can kind of just wait them out until they can't negate your ape swing and just really go in. And then a few other alt-win cons in here. For some of my set 6, my own personal touch additions to the deck, the Quick Shift Berry Blue. There's the Quick Shift Krillin and Majin Buu for blue and black and blue, respectively. And basically, you get to take 2 cards from your hand, put them back in the deck, shuffle, and draw 2. This is just key when it comes to those 4-drops. When you Union Absorb with Baby 1-drop into the next step, that 4-drop needs to be in the deck. It's okay maybe late game to have one if you do get to turn 5 or 6 and you can just hard cast it, but that's kind of absurd when you can get it for 2 or 3 energy and get all of this, the cards to all work together, which is the goal. But this helps you put them back. And you can also just do that early, late game just to kind of refresh your hand, maybe hopefully pull into other parts of the chain. And then this next card is more for my own local situation. Here I've seen some people play testing when we're not actually in tournament. I've seen them using the Veku ramp, and I'm really scared. I know that that's one of the decks that kills this one consistently. I just don't have anything to do when... they're typically bringing out the Gogeta Hero Revived, and killing off that Veku. I've done a couple games where I had this against a Veku, and the Veku ramp, he has barrier blocker, so this will neg him 10, and it won't set off his adding 2 energy from the top of the deck, so you're 2 energy behind. But when you do this, it just shuts them down. When I saw them, they went into the Veku, and then they had energy to Veku early, and I was like, ooh, he doesn't know I'm about to do this, and playing that and getting rid of it. It slows them down an entire turn. When I show you the full side deck, I'll show you what I would normally have in my deck. At my locals, we play best of 1, so no real... I just have to prepare for what I know these guys are playing, and that card is just going to be clutch, I know it. At worst, it's red energy. Next, I have the Scientist Fu. Everyone knows why. You overwhelm him, overwhelm 7, 1 energy, double strike, 25k. You get to draw 2 cards when you overwhelm with them. For 1 energy, sneaking in that final attack when they tap out thinking that was your last move, it's undeniable how everyone's running him for a reason. Then the last battle card, I have the secret rare, Army Reborn. I know it's pretty rare that we get to turn 5, but at my own locals here, I played 3 rounds, and I got to play this twice. And if I beat the Broly if I had another 5k, I would have beaten him on the next turn with this too, because we got to turn 5-4. It was amazing. But anyway, if you're not familiar with this card, basically you have an 8-drop that becomes a 5-drop. It permanently reduces its energy cost by 3 when you're at 2 or less life. And when you play it, your opponent has to reveal their hand. So then you get to choose 1 card, probably a negate, out of their hand, and they place it into the drop area. When you do that, then they hide their hand from you, and then you blow up everything on their field, ignoring barrier. It does set off any KOs, so there's this whole Son Goku The Adventure Begins and Android 8 thing that can happen with this that gets really wonky. Look up the current ruling on that. But other than that, it is a quadruple strike, so it is a great endgame. If you make it a turn 5, what I like to do, and what you have to do, and how I won against the Super Shenron in the last week, it's been allowed to play. Thank God for its death. What I did was, on turn 5, I didn't even get to have my ape out. I didn't run into any of the babies until the final hand, and I don't know how you have 4 of them in there. That doesn't typically happen. And so I swung with the Vegeta, the 3-drop Vegeta for 15k. I comboed with it to make it look like I was desperate. Then I swing with my leader. I get to draw another card. So what happened is when I swung with the Vegeta... No, that's what happened. I swung with the Vegeta, and he negated with a Nimbus, because I had just killed his Bardock's early game with After Image, and is that all you got? Which I'll show you a bit later. And then... slowing him down so much, I made it really hard for him, and he tried to energy a Height of Mastery early and didn't hit it when he needed it. So I swung with the Vegeta, he Nimbused me. I swung with my leader, he didn't negate. I comboed up to make it look like I was desperate, and I got the hit. And so he was down to 3. Oh, and then I pulled out this, and he didn't even have any negates left. He didn't even see it coming. And I just I took out a super combo of some kind, and then when I swung with it, he actually thought that the Nimbus was going to stop me from doing it, but I had to point out, you only have 1 more battle card attack. But anyway, clutch card always comes in. If you get there and you pull this card, if you play it, you win. If you're not winning when you play it, then you're playing it wrong. Just bait the negate, or 2. I baited, he Nimbused, so it was perfect. I knew it was going to work. Then we have... into the extra cards. Of course, I only have 3 After Image. With all the other negative 20s and plussing 10s and stuff that gets played in this, I don't need as many negates. I just want more negative attack power across the board, which is where the and if you're not familiar, you get plus 40k on your defending card, and then you give minus 10k to one of your opponent's cards for the duration of the turn. It also has the sparking effect where you can rip a life, which can come in handy late game. Then, 2, is that all you got? I only have 3 and 2 as far as the negates. And With this one, it's 1 energy, and you get to, if you discard a red card, you get to give 2 cards minus 15k. Again, more clearing the board. Vanillicu's Bane. And then some of the more unique cards for Baby in particular. Revenge Death Ball. It is just, I mean, once I get an ape out, or sometimes 2 apes out, I don't really worry too much about casting or spending energy to get more out. Only if I'm going for a final push and play like that Scientist Fu or something. For the most part, I leave a bunch of energy open so I can use cards like this, where my leader will get plus 10k power, and I get to choose one of my opponent's battle cards and give it minus 15k. Just more killing on their turn. It's just more annoying that way. And then also to the Vow's Revenge. It is a 0 energy where if you have a red machine mutant leader, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and give it minus 15k. This is where I've actually I've made a couple of Brawley players mad, where they get into the 4-drop and I happen to pull 2 of those Vow's Revenge. You kill the 4-drop with the first one. You start the baby chain, and that kills the so then the 25k comes out, or the 25k 6-drop comes out, and then you do the baby chain to kill it, and then you get up to the ape, and they bring out the 8-drop, and you swing with the ape, and you give him minus 20k, and then if you throw down that other Vow's Revenge, whether you hit him or not, he's dead. Like, it's just amazing to kill the 4, the 6, and the 8-drop Brawley all in one turn. God forbid they have that secret rare ready, but it really makes them mad. Anyway, that is the deck profile. Let's let's go into the sideboard. I'll show you what the sideboard would look like if we were doing a best of 3. So the biggest difference, obviously, is this foreseeing hit. I've switched out the Harmonic Energy Super Saiyan Blue Vegetas. Like I said, this is for my locals. It's going to be a new staple against Ramp, most likely in a lot of red side decks from now on. There's also a couple strategies of Universe 7. Giving everything barrier for a turn is priceless if you plan on keeping your apes around longer, or protecting anything lower until you get all the final pieces. But you should be doing all of this in one turn, ideally. I have also thrown in the After Image in case you want a full set. Get some more counters, of course. And you can tell I haven't done a sideboard before. I just throw in an alternate win con, because why not just be a foreseeing hit deck that has lightning fast hit. I find that concept fun, but like I said, I never use this. We're all best of 1 here. Then there's the Cronoas to shut down Shigesh. A Toki Toki. Honestly, I just didn't have time to figure out what else I would put in here. I used to have a couple Den Days, but I'd rather have the Tien Shinhan. Shutting down the ability to switch the energy to active is just really good, useful against blue, especially Janemba, just to beat him down at the very end if you have all the right cards to do it. So that is my Super Baby Vegeta deck profile. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment below how you would change this deck. Like I said, I'm new to the scene, truly green, and I can't get enough advice. Anything helps, and new players will appreciate it as well. Also, like and subscribe if you want to see more deck profiles, and maybe get the newcomers' perspective on some things. It doesn't sound like it's valued for much, but I just want to give back to the community. You guys it's been really fun. Just even watching the little bit that I have interacted has all gone well, but it's kind of fun. And then also click wherever it is here to go to my actual gameplay video, where I'm going to throw on some narration and kind of my thoughts and processes throughout the game, and I'll probably upload another one of those too. So make sure to check that out, and I will see you next time.